You say you learn to be kind in the Bible. Do you believe it's kind to tell a child that they can't transition?
No, but I think adults have a responsibility to help that child's mental health support. So whether that's therapy sessions or counseling.
If a child is suicidal, do you believe it's okay for them to transition?
Well, the problem with what you're saying is that's the argument that many gender clinics use to coerce parents to transition their kids. But you actually have to treat the real issues, which is maybe the kid is suffering from depression or they have struggles with other
What do you mean the
mental
real
health
issues?
issues.
No, but this is a real issue. Kids are suicidal because of their gender dysphoria. I mean, that's a real issue.
But Ethan, what I'm trying to say is if you put a vulnerable kid that's already struggling with a mental health on very high doses of hormones or puberty blockers,
Well, no.
that is only,
No,
that's only going
that's
to lead to more
after they
issues.
decide. That's after they decide. This kid is suicidal. The only way to save their life, as you hear from a lot of people, is to help them transition. What is wrong with that?
No, correct. You hear that a lot, but
Has it
people
ever
need to
happened?
address.
Has a child transitioning ever saved a child's life?
Well, you need to address the mental health issues. If a kid is
Has it
feeling
ever
that
saved
way,
a child's life?
transitioning,
Yeah.
yes, of course, there will be cases where
So if
kids
it
feel
saved
happy.
even one child's life, then where do you get off preventing this from happening? You say one child's all that matters. If you can admit to me that a child transitioning saved their life, even one of them, why would you support a movement that outlaws it? You support legislation that makes it illegal. Why is that?
Because firstly, these are kids, they cannot consent to this. They do not understand the long-term consequences. But you don't look at what happens later down the line, Ethan,
You
like
said,
6 years down the line.
we got to stick on this point. You said that transitioning has saved a child's life. Let's forget about all the other static. Let's forget about all the other static. Why is it that you would want to outlaw a medical procedure that saved a child's life? That's not kind, is it?
No, you have to support the kids' mental health, but you cannot put them on hormones.
Do you believe that it should be illegal? Do you believe that it should be illegal for kids to transition?
I believe for medical transitions, it should be 18 plus, yes.
Even if the kid is going to kill himself, as you admitted, it saved the child's life. You said that. So you believe this kid should kill themselves rather than transition?
Absolutely not. Don't try to put words in my mouth. Kids need mental health.
No, I'm not trying to put any words in your mouth. I'm just trying to reconcile. You are saying, on one hand, that transitioning saved the kid's life, and also saying that transitioning shouldn't be allowed until they're 18 plus. So this child has no recourse other than to kill themselves in this hypothetical situation we've created.
In this hypothetical situation, instead of that, actually take the kids to somewhere that's a safe place where they can be surrounded by therapists.
Right, they do that. But again, I don't want to focus on the static because this is a real situation. And let's say, even if it's just one kid, again, let's stay focused here, Ollie. One kid saved his life. You're telling that kid you cannot get that procedure. That's correct?
I'm saying that kids can't consent to this. Kids need better mental health support. So there should be a focus on
18
mental
plus.
health
You're
support
saying this kid cannot get the procedure that
transition.
saved his life. That's what you're saying.
I'm saying that 18 plus for all procedures on kids because kids cannot consent. So they need mental health support instead.
Well, right. So the kid would kill himself.
No, you give the kid.
But then why did you say that it saves kids' lives, Ollie? Don't you understand? You're not making sense.
I'm saying that there will be some kids that may feel better and feel like their life
No.
But
you agreed with me, Ollie, just a few minutes ago that transitioning has saved kids' lives.
Oh, like anything in life, it can save lives, but also a lot of people.
Like anything in life, what does that mean?
A thing.
A lot of people will become suicidal later down the line because their body is completely messed up. There, so many different issues with their health. That they're not being informed about. So it's about
99% don't regret it.
No, I'm just saying that it's informed consent. Kids can't consent. If a kid is feeling that way,
kids can't consent to anything. What are we doing?
No,
we're not allowing them to. Kids can't consent to go to church. Kid can't consent to go to school. Kids can't consent to anything. We as parents make the best decision we can for the welfare of the kid. Don't you agree? I mean, this whole idea of consent is kind of moot when you consider all the things kids do in their lives every day.
Well, it's like a little kid that wants to be a dinosaur. Do you suddenly give them a surgery
Do
to look
you
like a
think that wanting
dinosaur?
to be
No.
a dinosaur is comparable to gender dysphoria, which is a known medical condition?
I'm saying that some
You
kids go through
said
different
it's like
phases.
kids wanting to be dinosaurs, Ollie. I don't understand the comparison.
Well, no, it is. It's like some kids change their mind about certain things. They're not mature enough to make these decisions.
Do
So
you
a
think
kid might
wanting
say
to
to their
be a
parents,
dinosaur is comparable to being trans?
I'm saying if a 10-year-old kid dresses up as a dinosaur every day, they tell their dad they're a
Has that happened?
Tyrannosaurus.
Can you cite that happening?
You've been speaking about theoretical things. I'm speaking
Well,
about something that's
no.
theoretical. I'm saying,
Well, we're talking about
would you
theoretical.
transition a
We're
child?
talking about theoretical situations, but they are real happening in the real world. There are kids whose lives are being saved because, and this is the small amount of kids who undergo it, very small amount that do it under doctors' supervision and panels and stuff, that it's saving their lives. This is happening. Okay, people are not. I don't, as far as I know, and maybe you can correct me, saying I'm a dinosaur. I need to transition into a dinosaur.
No, I'm saying, yeah, kids want different things. They don't understand or
I notice you're
comprehend.
saying I'm saying a lot. You say things, but you don't like to stay accountable to it. You say, no, I'm saying this. No, I'm saying this. No, I'm saying this. Why won't you give me definitive answers?
Well, I'm equating it. You know what? It is the same. If a child wants to be a dinosaur, you don't cut off their
Okay, it's the same.
body parts.
It's the
It's the
same.
same as being
Gender.
It's the same as medically transitioning a
Okay.
child and giving them
Good.
surgery. Mhm.
Good. I'm glad you said that. Gender dysmorphia is a known medical condition. Is there any literature about transitioning to be a dinosaur? Not that you know of. Right. But you said it's the same. But clearly it's not, right? Because
No, I'm equating
transitioning
a kid.
is
I'm
accepted by
equating a
the
kid.
Mhm.
Sorry, I'm equating a kid identifying in a different way. You don't just suddenly say, if a kid feels a certain way, oh, we're going to do this operation, we're going to give you hormones. Kids
Of
can't
course that
consent
doesn't
if they
happen,
generally
Ollie.
feel like that their
That
whole
doesn't
life, do it
happen.
as an adult.
That doesn't happen. You have a child who's experiencing gender dysmorphia so severe that they're going to kill themselves. Dysphoria, excuse me. They're undergoing panels and doctors and stuff. And this kid, we know, and this has happened, either we intervene or the child kills themselves. What's your decision?
Most kids grow out of gender
That's not what I
dysphoria, so
asked. Why can't you answer? Most kids
No,
do
I'm
not
saying
grow
most
out of
kids-
gender dysmorphia. Not only 99. Oh, that's a small number of them, and 99% who get the operations don't regret it. You have to answer this, Ollie. This is important. If there's a child that's going to kill itself unless it gets gender affirming care, what is your decision? Let
Well,
them
there's a study.
give them the treatment or not?
No, you give them mental health support instead. You do
No,
not.
no,
put
no,
a
no,
kid
no,
on
no, no,
hormones
no.
and puberty blockers.
That's not what I'm asking. If this kid is suicidal, which is a known phenomenon, this happens. Do you let them get the treatment, or do you make them wait till they're 18?
You give them other support instead. That's
So they
my
kill
answer.
themselves.
No, they.
How is
no,
that
you prevent
kind,
that because
Ollie?
you give them mental health.
How is that kind that you're letting children kill themselves instead of letting them get gender
Ethan, this is a
affirming
really-
life-saving care, which, by the way, happens only irreversible gender care, gender surgeries and stuff only happens like 250 times a year.
No, it doesn't. It happens.
Well, you have
thousands of
no
times, actually.
statistics to back that up.
Well, there's a clinic in Oregon. I can send you the statistics of. There's a clinic in Oregon that does at least 300 surgeries on kids a year. So that's just one
That's
clinic.
impossible. That's not true.
There's 60 clinics in the US that are pediatric.
Oh, over
gender
years,
clinics
yeah,
that are
60
transitioning
over years. So, but again,
No, I'm
there's
saying-
50 million kids in America, Ollie. That's not a lot.
But I'm saying there's 60 gender clinics that are performing these surgeries every single week across the country. So look it up and see how many.
Let's say that of the 1,000, there's 10 kids who are going to kill themselves. Do we let them get this treatment or not?
Again, you give the kids mental health support.
You're choosing for them to kill themselves, Ollie.
No, I'm not. Don't
Yes, you
try to
are.
say that because
But you
a very
are.
sensitive
But that's
subject.
what you're saying, Ollie.
I'm not saying
That is
Ethan.
what
I'm
you're
saying
saying.
give the
You're
kids-
denying them life-saving, gender-affirming care.
No, I'm saying give the kids
No,
mental health support
yeah,
until they can
you're saying
become an
use
adult.
this avenue that doesn't work, that's not going to work to prevent you from killing yourself. You're telling them
No,
you cannot have the antidote that's going to save your life. You can only do the therapy that I approve of. You can only do the therapy that I say is okay for you, Ollie. You went through this whole gender transition. Why do you deny people the journey that you yourself had?
because I had that journey as an adult, and even though I regret it, I was an adult. But kids cannot consent. So I'll say it again: kids
Kids
should
can't
not be on
consent
any
to
form of
anything.
hormone.
Kids can't consent to
Yes,
anything.
but Ethan, this is irreversible. We're not just
No,
talking
it's
about
not.
something.
Sometimes it's not. Most of the times it is reversible. And
No,
and
when
and
you
when it's not reversible, it's done under extreme care, under doctor supervision. You want this kid to kill themselves, Ollie. How do you live with that? How do you
Ethan,
betray the
please,
community, the trans community that you're a part of? You sold yourself out for some attention and some money, and you are dooming kids to kill themselves. How do you live with that? Before it was
Ethan,
cute, silly stuff about transracial and BTS and pop stuff, and it was just silly nonsense about little racist stuff about Korean people having tiny penises. But now you're actually delving into transphobic, violent transphobia that is going to result in kids dying. You're going to have to reckon with that, Ollie.
no, absolutely not. You're trying to paint me out as saying
I'm
this. I'm
only
trying to
saying
say
what
that
you
kids
said.
cannot consent. No, Ethan,
Kids
I'm not
can't
saying that.
consent to anything.
Kids
Kid
cannot
can't
consent to irreversible
can't.
hormones or surgeries, Ethan.
Okay, a kid
They
needs to
cannot
get his
consent
leg
to that.
removed because he has leg cancer. Should he be able to get the leg removed?
Well, if he has a cancer, yes, but I'm
Okay,
saying
so
that
what's the
you
fucking
can't.
difference? He can't consent to have his leg removed. That's irreversible.
Well, many of these kids are being pushed into it. Many grow out of gender dysphoria. If you Google right
But
now,
I'm
it's a Canadian
telling
study.
you, kids kill themselves if they don't get this treatment. In the rare case that it's that severe, about 250 a year.
Well, show me. Okay, pull up a case then.
I'm sure we can do that. That's not a problem. Give me 1 second. Gender affirming care is mental health support, right?
There are other
It's
ways. There
actually
are other
in
ways of helping kids.
the American Institute of Psychiatry and Kids Health Pediatrics. They all agree that the correct care for children with dysmorphia is gender affirming care. Do you know more than Pediatrics Association and Psychiatrists Association?
Yeah, because all of
You
these
do know
companies
more.
they made $2.2 billion transitioning kids last year. So it's a multi-billion-dollar industry with a lot of
So
powerful lobby
people make
groups.
money from it. So therefore, we shouldn't let kids save their lives.
No, you can provide. I'm not going to keep going on about this same thing. You can provide kids with the right mental health support that doesn't include putting them on harmful hormones that can cause irreversible issues. And when they
You're
become
right.
an
We should make
adult,
it free. You're right. People shouldn't be charged for it. No, no.
no, I'm just not going to keep going on about the same thing, Ethan. I need to go anyway. It's quite late.
Ollie, I want to tell you something. You really have sold your soul in this one. You know what I mean? Like before it was
Ethan,
cute
I
and
haven't sold
innocent,
my
but this
soul. I'm
new
trying to
one
help
is
people.
really sick. And I mean, the
Ethan,
galls of you to sell a fucking lunch pail with a trans person on it while telling people that they're grooming kids. I mean, you're just a fucking hypocrite, dude.
Ethan, you said some horrific comments about Ben Shapiro saying that he should be gassed
I'm
like in the Holocaust. So you shouldn't be
I didn't
lecturing
say
people on
that.
what to
I
say.
said
You
I'll tell you exactly what I said. And how dare you say such a I don't
you
care.
said that
I made a
about no,
joke
Ethan,
that
you said that about Ben
he's
Shapiro.
perpetuating anti-Semitism, and therefore, if there's another, then he can go, and I'd be
But it's
happy
not something
to
to joke
I'd be
about,
happy to
Ethan.
go
It's
right
not
behind
something to
him.
joke
I am
about.
Jewish though, so chill out.
No, I know that, but I'm just saying it's not something to joke about. So, when you're trying to criticize for me for certain things,
So,
you've also said some things that are very harmful as
well,
well. So
hold
you should also
on.
take accountability.
So you're admitting that what you say about trans people is offensive.
No, I'm talking
Well,
about
how
my
is it
past
comparable to what
behaviors
I
have been
said?
harmful. I'm talking about my past behaviors, have been harmful,
I'm
but I'm
not talking
addressing that
about your
now and
past
trying to
behavior.
help
I'm talking
people.
about what you're doing now that endangers children because you're trying to make a
Now
quick
I'm helping
buck.
people. Now, no, I'm helping people, Ethan.
You're helping Tucker Carlson spread propaganda that's going to kill trans people. And you're selling a book called Gender Madness after you. How long have you been how long have you been a man? How long have you been detransitioned? And you're writing a book already?
It's been 7 months.
7 months, Ollie? I mean, you were trans for years. How are you going to spend 7 months as a man and then presume to tell people how to live their lives? That doesn't even make sense, Ollie. How dare you? 7 months? That's not enough time to give me an informed decision about what it means to transition, especially when you lived as a trans person for so long.
Yeah, but the book is about how I got to where I was, what led me to that, and how people struggle with different identities. It's actually a self-help book, so it's very positive, empowering about different ways people can help themselves.
Gender Madness. Here's your best friend, Jamie Mitchell, who's the founder of Gays Against Groomers, supporting. Well, here, just watch.
What's happening now would make, I think Joseph Mengele, I believe that was his name, the Nazi doctor. This puts him to shame. Do
you believe that's an appropriate analogy?
Well, Joseph Mengele tortured and performed horrific medical procedures on kids. What
Jewish
they're doing
kids
today,
during the Holocaust.
He also committed a genocide against trans people, by the way.
He committed a genocide against trans people as well.
He killed
if jokes about the Holocaust are off the limit, Ollie, let's be consistent.
They are basically using an entire generation.
How dare you?
Of children as lab rats for this sick ideology. And
she sounds like him right now.
Like
any abuse of kids, any experimentation on kids is wrong.
And a threat to that.
You've been very open about, your conservative voice as well. Is it hard to be, to have a conservative voice now?
Yeah. I mean, I am personally conservative. I've actually had an online presence as the Gay Who's Straight on Instagram primarily for over 6 years. And we.
Do you believe that doctors are performing Nazi-like experiments on trans kids?
Doctors are experimenting on kids.
To what end? What is the experiment?
Any medical mutilation on kids is bad. And,
an experiment underlies a thesis. What is their thesis?
I'm saying there's no long-term data on how does this affect a kid's
Yes, there is. 99% don't regret it.
How does this affect a kid 20 years down the line? Because
they're happy.
See issues
99% are happy.
We see issues
27
with their bone
studies.
Density. Look at the study by Dr. Bradley, Canadian. She was the pioneer for performing these gender-affirming cares on kids.
What if I told you Dr. Bradley was a quack?
Well, they're all quacks. Anyone that experiments on kids in the first place is a quack.
All right, Ollie. We're gonna anyway. Thank you for spending your time. I do appreciate you coming on.
But no, it's good to talk.
It was something. But I do think that since God created, God created trans people. You know what I mean? And when kingdom come, you're gonna have to answer for what you're doing. This is not kindness. Jesus does not hate trans kids.
Jesus doesn't hate anyone, but what I've been saying throughout the interview, and we've spoke about this already, is I'm simply speaking up about we shouldn't do this to kids. I know you're trying to make the argument that this can lead to.
It's not happening to kids, Ollie. It's 250 a year.
It's not 250.
Yes, it
there
is.
Are thousands.
You're just making that up. That's bullshit.
No, you can look on Google.
I've looked up every single thing you've said. I fact-checked every single thing you said. It's all propaganda. It's all lies.
But look at
I've
Dr.
systematically dismantled every single point you have.
But you can look at Dr. Gallagher in Miami and see how many operations she does on kids. That's just one clinic. There are 60 clinics plus that are doing this. So imagine every single clinic added up. They're profiting from this. It's $70,000 they make from a girl.
All right, Ollie London, who is in favor of kids killing themselves. Thank you for calling. But
it's not even funny to joke about things like that.
Oh, I'm not joking, my friend.
Ethan, I've been talking about mental health support. That's the real issue here. We need to help people with their struggles and not be putting them on medication.
Ollie London, who's in favor of kids killing themselves.
Ethan, not cool. Right. Anyway, thank you for your time.
Well,
today.
It is not cool. Actually, that's putting it mildly. It's actually demonic.
No, it's not cool that you're trying to say that I'm pro for
but
that.
That's literally what you're doing. It's what you've said, my friend.
No, it's not. It's about, I've been saying about we need to give mental health support instead of putting all of these kids on
Gender
hormones. But
affirmation
anyway,
is mental health support.
we'll agree to disagree, and good luck.
Okay, you're a demon.
Shout out to ISIS. Dan to Dan is another kind of prolapse. Milk.